السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. أما بعد, inshallah, we'll begin from Ayah 43 of Surah Yusuf, which talks about the dream of the king of Egypt. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وقال الملك إني أرى 7 بقرات سمان يأكلهن 7 عجاف. And one day the king said, behold, I saw in a dream 7 fat cows being eaten by 7 lean ones, by 7 skinny cows. وَسَبْعَ سُنبُلَاتٍ خُضْرٍ, and 7 green ears of wheat. وَأُخَرَ يَابِسَاتٍ, the next 7 others that were withered. Ya ayyuhal mala, O you nobles, chiefs, O you ministers, aftuni fi ru'yaya, give me your opinion on my vision, enlighten me about the meaning of my dream. In kuntum lirru'ya ta'burun, if you are able to interpret the dreams. Now, rulers of Egypt are generally referred to as pharaohs. Quran also uses the same term in reference to the ruler of Egypt at the time of Musa alayhi salam. But here it uses the word king when referring to the ruler of Egypt. Interestingly, this is in accordance with the way the term was used historically. And it was in the 19th century, after the translation of Egyptian hieroglyphics, that we came to know, we discovered that it was in the New Kingdom period, which started shortly after the time of Yusuf alayhi salam, that the term Pharaoh began to be used for the king. And before that, in the Middle Kingdom period, it was used for the palace, for the household. So that precision in the usage of the term, which came to known to us with only recent discoveries, shows the divine origin of the Quran. And now some say that this king may have been one of the 6 Hyksos rulers who were people of Semitic origin like Yusuf alayhi salam, and who dominated Egypt from about 1700 to 1580 BC. So those shared roots may have contributed to trust of king that he placed on Yusuf alayhi salam, that he gave him the most important role or position in his kingdom, and subsequently allowed his family to settle in Egypt, which later became Israelite nation in Egypt. So he said, the king said, I have seen 7 fat cows being eaten, devoured by 7 skinny ones or lean ones, and I've seen 7 green ears of wheat next to other 7 that were withered. Ya ayyuhal mala, O my chiefs. And mala, basically the word is from the root which means to fill. It refers to the inner circle or the elite ministers that fill the courtroom of the king. So he said, "O my ministers, aftuni, give me your opinion or enlighten me." And aftuni doesn't mean give me verdict, give me fatwa, right? It is to tell me about the real meaning and wisdom of the dream. And ifta also implies having that deeper understanding of a matter and then giving verdict about it. So he's saying, look at this dream carefully and tell me if it has real implication. In kuntum lirru'ya ta'burun, if you are able to interpret the dream. And the word for interpretation here, ta'burun, from abara, which is to cross over from one side of something to the other. And with respect to the dream interpretation, it means to move from symbolic and figurative forms in a dream to actual meaning they symbolize. So they said, قالوا أضغاث أحلام. They said that this is one of those, confusing dreams. This is one of those involved and confusing dreams. وَمَا نَحْنُ بِتَأْوِيلِ الْأَحْلَامِ بِعَالِمِينَ, and we don't have, we are not knowledgeable of such dreams. So adghas, basically, adghas wa ahlam, or adghas comes from daghs, which means a sack or handful of twigs or things mixed together. Like when Ayub alayhi salam was told, وَخُذْ بِيَدِكَ ضِغْثًا, that take in your hand a handful of dry twigs or sticks. So dreams with jumbled up compilation of different confusing things. So the word ahlam here, so adghas, so jumbled up kind of, and ahlam means dreams. And there are two words that are used for dreams. The word hilm, hulm is used, generally for the nightmares. And then the ru'ya. Ru'ya is also used for dreams. However, the word ru'ya is associated with true vision. Ru'ya also means sight, to see. So the word that is closer to reality is used for true vision. And the word hulm is used for nightmares. And that's why King used the word ru'ya to refer to his dream, and the ministers used ahlam to refer to his dream. So they said, وَمَا نَحْنُ بِتَأْوِيلِ الْأَحْلَامِ بِعَالَمٍ, that we are not knowledgeable of those type of dreams, those jumbled up and nightmare dreams. We are scholars, but we are not the scholars of confusing dreams. So this also shows that king was big-hearted person, unlike pharaohs. Otherwise, no one would dare to speak to king like that we are scholars but not of dreams like that. وَقَالَ الَّذِي نَجَا مِنْهُمَا, at that, the one who had been saved among the two said, وَادَّكَرَ بَعْدَ أُمَّةٍ, remembering Yusuf alayhi salam after all that time. Ummah here is, denotes a time or a long period of time. So he suddenly remembers Yusuf alayhi salam that he is the person who can truly resolve this matter. So he said, وَادَّكَرَ بَعْدَ أُمَّةٍ أَنَا أُنَبِّئُكُمْ, that I shall inform you of its interpretation. فَأَرْسِلُونَ, so send me forth. And here he used أُنَبِّئُكُمْ, I shall inform you, which is the plural you is used here, which means he was not addressing the king alone, rather assembly as a whole, either in the same sitting or later on when he came to find out about it. And so he was able to convince the king to allow him to speak to Yusuf about that dream, which the king allowed him, but that detail is not given. This is something that is implied. And then the scene changes. So Yusufu ayyuha siddiq, Yusuf, oh the truthful ones. So basically the king, allowed him to go to Yusuf and ask him about the details. So he went to see Yusuf and asked him, Yusufu ayyuha siddiq, Yusuf, oh the truthful one, aftina fi sab'i baqaratin, give us your opinion, enlighten us. And here the word aftina, again, enlighten us or give your opinion to us, right? Give your verdict to us, indicates that he did not go alone, and that he was asking on behalf of people. So aftina fi sab'i baqaratin simanin, he said, give us your opinion, enlighten us concerning sab'i baqaratin simanin, 7 fat cows being eaten by 7 lean ones. وَسَبْعِ sumbulatin hudrin, and 7 green heads of grain and the others dry. وَأُخَرَ يَابِسَاتٍ لَعَلِّي أَرْجِعُ إِلَى النَّاسِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ, so that I may return with your explanation unto the people of the court, and that they may come to know. لَعَلِّي أَرْجِعُ إِلَى النَّاسِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ, so that they might know. Can also mean the king and the minister may come to know of the implication of the dream, or that they may know the true rank and knowledge of Yusuf alayhi salam, and thus release him from the prison. قال تزرعون سبع سنين دأبا. He said, you will sow diligently for 7 years. فما حسدتم فذروه في سنبله إلا قليلا مما تأكلون. Then whatever you harvest, leave it in its ears, in its spikes, except a little that you eat. So he's not only interpreting the dream, but he is basically giving them 15 years of economic plan, that for first 7 years you will diligently and continuously sow, except little that you will consume in comparison to what you will grow, which either indicates that their production of grain crops was always greater than their consumption, that the land around the river Nile was known for its production, or it can be that he understood from the dream. So he said, فَمَا حَصَدْتُمْ فَذَرُوهُ فِي سُنبُلِهِ. Whatever you harvest, leave it in its ear, except what you the little that you will eat. So he proposed to leave the harvest in its spike. In the dream, also king saw spikes and not the grain. So that could be the indication. And the benefit of that is it prevents the spoilage of grain, rice or wheat for a long time. Otherwise, it can go bad quickly if it comes out. ثم يأتي من بعد ذلك سبع شداد. And then after that, there will come a year. ثم يأتي من بعد ذلك سبع شداد. Then after this will come 7 hard years, which will devour that which you have saved in advance for them. يأكلن ما قدمتم لهن إلا قليلا مما تحسنون. Except a little of that which you have stored for the seed, or for in an emergency situation. Everything else will be consumed, as the dream indicated, that 7 skinny cows eating 7 fat ones. Since cows are used for irrigation, and so they were used as symbolic representation for that as well. ثم يأتي من بعد ذلك عام فيه يغاث الناس وفيه يعصرون. And after that, there will come a year in which the people will be delivered from all distress, will be granted rain, and in which they will press oil and wine as they used to do before. So basically, yughath can either mean deliverance from distress, or it can mean rain that comes in the right proportion. So it will be a year of much bounty and abundance for people of Egypt. Now, Imam Bukhari rahimahullah brought a hadith under the Tafsir of Surah Yusuf with the title Babu Qawlihi laqad kana fi Yusuf wa ikhwatihi ayatul lisa'ilin, in Kitab al-Tafsir, that chapter of statement of Allah, indeed in Yusuf and his brothers there are signs for those who ask. And the hadith talks about drought or famine that came upon as a people of Makkah as a result of Prophet's dua, because of their continuous stubbornness against Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, against Islam. So he made this dua, Allahumma akfinihim bisab'in kasab'i Yusuf. Oh Allah, protect me against their evil by afflicting them with the 7 years, like the 7 years of Yusuf, 7 years of drought, like the 7 years of Yusuf. And as a result, they were struck with the drought that destroyed everything, to the point that they even ate bones to survive. And a man would look towards the sky and see something like smoke between him and it, which is referred to as a prophecy in another place in the Quran, in Surah Dukhan. فَارْتَقِبْ يَوْمَ تَأْتِ السَّمَاءُ بِدُخَانٍ مُبِينٍ. Then wait for the day when the sky will bring forth a visible smoke. So the purpose of bringing this hadith under the tafsir of Surah Yusuf was to show parallel between Prophet ﷺ and Yusuf. and that there are great signs in that for those who seek truth. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us understanding and tawfiq in our studying and learning of the Quran. Inshallah, I'll recite what we covered and then inshallah we'll open up for question answer. Inshallah, we'll begin from ayah 43. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وقال الملك إني أرى 7 بقرات سمان يأكلهن 7 عجاف و7 سنبلات خضر وأخر يابسات يا أيها الملأ أفتوني في رؤياي إن كنتم للرؤيا تعبرون قالوا أضغاث أحلام وما نحن بتأويل الأحلام بعالمين وقال الذي نجا منهما وادكر بعد أمة أنا أنبئكم بتأويله فأرسلون يوسف أيها الصديق أفتنا في 7 بقرات سمان يأكلهن 7 عجاف و7 سنبلات خضر وأخر يابسات لعلي أرجع إلى الناس لعلهم يعلمون قال تزرعون 7 سنين دأبا فما حصدتم فذروه في سنبله إلا قليلا مما تأكلون ثم يأتي من بعد ذلك 7 شداد يأكلن ما قدمتم لهن إلا قليلا مما تحصنون ثم يأتي من بعد ذلك عام فيه يغاث الناس ثم يأتي من بعد ذلك عام فيه يغاث الناس وفيه يعصرون